What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers report, and today is the 2022 MLB Draft, and it is a prime opportunity for the Texas Rangers to add blue chip talent into the organization with the third overall selection. But in this video, I'm going to be discussing the three prospects the Rangers should be discussing in depth with this selection here today. So if this is your first time on the channel, make sure to subscribe right now, become your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers related on YouTube. But also make sure to join the Discord. That link will be in the description down below. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the first guy on my list has to be Druw Jones, the son of Druw Jones, former big leaguer, and this doesn't come as a surprise. The consensus #1 overall prospect in the nation, and to me, I threw him up on the big board because there is a chance that he falls to the Rangers, and if Druw Jones falls to the Rangers, you need to snatch him up, because honestly, I think his player comp, as crazy as it is, could be Mike Trout, but I think maybe Julio Rodriguez is more comparable, but he has that much talent and that much upside. He's a 5-tool player with a glove that could play in the MLB right now, a 70 grade run. I'd say his power is his lowest tool, but it is still above average. His hit tool is impressive. He's drawn a good track record against good competition, but it could still use some refining, obviously, because his highest level competition is high school, so he'll need to get some work to tune things out in the minor leagues. But I don't think there's any way Druw Jones falls to the Rangers with the third overall selection. I do think there's a way that Baltimore doesn't select Druw Jones, because I have heard rumors that Baltimore will go under slot, and if that is the case, then maybe Baltimore will go Brooks Lee or something of that route, and then I just don't see Druw Jones sneaking past the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yes, it does make sense that, okay, we could save some money, we could still get a talented guy, kind of what the Pirates did last year with Henry Davis. You're still getting a top prospect, but you're saving that money for other talented prospects later in the draft. I just don't know if that's the best strategy, because most prospects don't pan out anyway, so why not spend all that money on a prospect that has a better chance of panning out? That's kind of what the Rangers did last year with Jack Leiter, but as crazy as it is, I do think that Druw Jones will easily win Gold Gloves, because he could play the MLB outfield right now, but I think he'll easily be an all-star and have the chance to be an MVP. He's just that talented. So the second guy on my list, who I do think is a realistic option for the Rangers with the third overall selection, is shortstop Jackson Holliday from Stillwater High School. Jackson Holliday is another 5-tool player. I think his best tool is his run grade. He also is a good hitter, doesn't have as much power. I think he will tap into that. He's gained a lot of strength and speed this year. That's why he's flown up the draft boards. Jackson Holliday is another son of a former big leaguer, and Matt Holliday, he has a commitment to Oklahoma State. That's where his uncle and his dad coach, and I doubt he will go there because he's gonna be a top 3 pick. And I just love if we were able to get this selection. I mean, yes, I love Druw Jones, but I love taking middle infielders because they are so versatile. And with the Rangers position group getting as crowded as it is, I think position flexibility is the most important thing. I like the hit tool that Jackson Holliday brings, and I think that with the connection of his dad, a former all-star in Matt Holliday, he can use that connection as well, and that could just help him out with the grind. I would really love the selection of Jackson Holliday. I think that's a relatively safe pick. I don't think it has the upside of maybe Druw Jones, where he could be an MVP in the league. I don't think Jackson Holliday will be an MVP. I think he could be somewhere along the lines of maybe like a Brandon Crawford type of player, a solid player, all-star type player, but not an MVP type level player. Now, the third guy on my list that I think the Rangers should select, and this has kind of been back and forth. So in the past, I've gone with Brooks Lee. So should we go after a guy like Elijah Greene? who could have the highest ceiling in this draft class, even higher than Druw Jones if everything pans out. So, like I was saying, Jackson Holliday, yes, he has a high ceiling because he's going within the top 3 picks of the draft, but it's not as high as Druw Jones. It's not as high as Elijah Greene. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to be an MVP type player. Does Druw Jones strike me as that type of player? Yes, and he also has a high floor. I don't think there's much risk involved in Druw Jones. Does Elijah Greene have that type of potential? Yes, but is there risk involved with Elijah Greene? Yes. So I honestly think that Elijah Greene is almost a little bit of a poorer Druw Jones. Yes, the tools are a little bit different. Elijah Greene, his power is insane. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, and he has a 70 grade run. And the scouts say that he can man center field. He almost has a Mike Trout body, but I don't know if I really want to compare him to Mike Trout because the tools are a little bit different. The thing that scares me the most with Elijah Greene is the swing and miss. Okay, so all the tools are there. He has the most upside in this draft class, the most just physical tools, the biggest power. It's crazy that he can run 70 grade time with his size. He is a specimen. He could be playing in the NFL. His dad is a former NFL defensive end or tight end. But Druw Jones would be a safe pick, but there is absolutely no way he gets to us. If he does, that would be crazy. However, yes, we could go different routes. We could go Kevin Parada, which we should consider. That's not out of the crazy realm. I've made some videos on that, so we also should be expecting that. There's not really any college, not even any pitchers that we should be considering. No Jace Young, no Jacob Berry. I really think it boils down to those 3 high school guys, and Brixley could be an option as well as Kevin Parada. But Druw Jones, I think the odds are like 1,000,000 to 1. But do you want the upside with Elijah Greene, knowing that he may not pan out, or do you want Jackson Holliday, knowing that he's kind of a safer option and he doesn't have as much upside? Personally, this is what I've been thinking. I want the safe option because I know I've been burnt so many times by Rangers draft picks and just the farm system not panning out. And I could go both ways on this, saying we need elite talent in the farm system, not just a bunch of guys with high floors. But then again, all these guys could be used for trades, and I just keep on going back and forth. So I'm not really going to get bogged down over this. I do think I would still want Jackson Holliday because shortstop is a really tough position, and I think center field is right behind that. So right now, I want Jackson Holliday because I know that Druw Jones probably won't fall, and then Elijah Greene. But if we go either or, I'm not going to be mad. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'll break down the video whenever we draft our guy. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.